When they heard the heartbreaking news about Grandma's death, the grandchildren rushed back to the countryside. But what they saw left them completely stunned. The guests who came to mourn were laughing and chatting, happily sitting on the floor playing cards. There wasn't even a hint of sadness. Deoxin couldn't help but ask,
여기 초상집 맞아? 잔치집 같은데?
In front of the altar, the aunts were casually chatting about family stuff, showing off their new gold rings. But there was no sign of Dad anywhere. Deoxin figured he must have been too heartbroken to face anyone. But just then, Dad suddenly called out for Bora in the distance. Then the three siblings were called over to the elders' table. Dad proudly introduced his three kids to everyone. But Deoxin couldn't understand. Are all adults really this cold? Their mom just died. Why didn't they shed a single tear? When they heard their uncle in America might not make it back, Deoxin felt even more upset. She felt it was unfair to Grandma. In the end, she couldn't hold it in and burst into tears. The next morning, all the guests had left. Deoxin saw Dad curled up by the doorframe. He looked like he hadn't slept all night. She was about to check on him, but just then the aunts walked by carrying breakfast, and Dad instantly acted like nothing was wrong, cheerfully eating his food. That made Deoxin think again. Dad must really be an emotionless robot. After 2 days, fewer and fewer people came to the funeral. Dad didn't look cheerful anymore. He kept glancing toward the gate. Watching her dad who hadn't slept for 2 days, Deoxin felt heartbroken. She gently told him to get some rest. Dad froze for a few seconds, then forced out a painful smile. Just then, their uncle finally made it back from overseas.
우리 형님 불쌍해서 어쩐대서 우리 형님 불쌍해서 어쩐대 무엇이 그만하고 이렇게 먼저 갔을까 무엇이 그만하고 이제 우리 엄마 못 보자네 우리 엄마 못 보자
The three siblings hugged their brother and cried their hearts out. In that moment, they were just kids again. Adults aren't always cold or heartless. Sometimes it's just easier to laugh than to cry. Because their big brother was far away, Dad and the aunts had to stay strong for the guests. They had to show everyone the family could still stand strong. Now that big brother was finally back, they could finally drop the act. They held each other tight and cried without holding back. Because now, they had no mother left in this world.